What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Nate Diaz calls out Khamzat Chimaev for being a scared fighter. While Khamzat Chimaev managed to pull off the ultra-rare 50-44 scorecard against Dricus du Plessis this past weekend, Nate Diaz wasn't impressed. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. During a recent appearance on Sneako's livestream, Diaz discussed the UFC 319 main event, calling it boring, while labeling the newly minted champion as a scared fighter.
I don't like that kind of fighting.
What's it boring?
Fighting? It's boring to me.
Like it's the one that's on the ground all the time?
Like he's supposed to be a big scary guy, right? And do you remember when he had him in side control and he's holding him?
Yeah.
Dominating him, right? And then he's like, let's go, and he hits him a little bit, like real soft punches and shit. It's like, that's what people don't understand about like the styles. Like that type of fighter is a scared fighter. He's scared for his life that he lets go that much to hit. He's that afraid that if he lets go to hit him hard, that motherfucker might get up and get away from him. So that's a scared style to me. And he comes off as this big intimidating guy, but he's a big old scared child. And I think and that's why I tweeted about it. I said, he's not a fighter because you can tell by how scared he is holding him that tight.
While Diaz may have been unimpressed, Chimaev's big victory landed him a Mercedes Maybach from Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, who the champion presented the belt to after arriving in Chechnya. While speaking with the members of the press after returning home, Chimaev gave Kadyrov credit for keeping him going several years back when he wanted to retire. As he explained, Kadyrov urged him to keep fighting, predicting that one day he would be champion. Considering we've seen Kadyrov cage side in Abu Dhabi before, he'll likely be in attendance if Chimaev winds up defending his title in Abu Dhabi. Reinier says Caio Borralho does not deserve a title fight. Earlier today, RDR appeared on the Pound for Pound show with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. During the podcast, he bashed Borralho, saying Caio doesn't deserve a title fight due to his inactivity and lack of wins in 2025.
I think Caio he's not there. He didn't even fight this year, I think. So his last win was over Cannonier, maybe. His best win is Cannonier, which is good, but MVP just beat him as well. So I beat 5 guys this year, and he beat nobody this year. So I think he's not there at the moment. And I'd say Fluffy is he's close as well. He's very good.
Well, Borralho appeared in an interview with Submission Radio. He bashed RDR for his skill and even predicting Anthony Hernandez to dominate RDR in their fight. Borralho said the following: RDR has grappling as good as Roman Dolidze, and RDR is a little bit worse than Roman Dolidze on the feet. So Hernandez is going to go there. It's going to be the same exact fight as the Dolidze fight, and I think he'll win this fight against RDR for sure. Jon Jones, not a GOAT according to Daniel Cormier. When looking at the greatest fighters in MMA history, Daniel Cormier believes that the GOAT debate can be distilled down to 2 lists: the greatest fighters of all time, period, and the greatest fighters who never tested positive for PEDs. During an appearance on Club Shay Shay this week, DC dished on the GOAT debate while weighing in on a wide range of topics.
Give me your Mount Rushmore fighters.
Demetrius Johnson.
Okay.
George St. Pierre.
Okay.
Khabib. Khabib was undefeated. Nobody beat him. 4th, God, that's where it gets tough. I would never put myself up there.
Right.
But I'm like right in that 4 to 7 range.
Yeah, I thought you might put Anderson.
Anderson had the steroid.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I can't put Anderson. Like, I would like to put Anderson. If I'm saying all those guys included, then obviously John and Anderson are on that Mount Rushmore. But I don't do that. I refused it. It's not in fighting.
DC, of course, isn't the first fighter to say that PED infractions should disqualify fighters from the GOAT debate. Earlier this summer, Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, echoed a similar sentiment during an International Fight Week appearance on the Ariel Helwani show. It looks like Jon Jones has seen the comments from Daniel Cormier. Jones wrote the following on X last night: "When DC tells a story, somehow I'm always the co-star. Thanks, Shannon Sharp, for the invite, even if I was only there in spirit. #Airbnb. Someone replied to Jones saying that DC is giving credit to Jones, but he's blinded by the hate, to which Jones replied by saying, "To have a man out there lobbying on one of the biggest podcasts, trying to convince the world that my work ethic was powered by you clearly didn't even watch the interview. High school state champ, JUCO national champ, youngest UFC champion, greatest in MMA history, a lifetime of loss, victories, and sacrifice, and this guy wants to write it all off as Honestly, it's insulting, but I can't help but laugh, knowing it was God-given abilities that made him feel so inferior. Someone replied to the tweet saying, "Losing is better than running away in MMA world," to which Jones fired back, writing, "LOL, the delusion some of you fans have is hysterical. You're sitting there telling me how the MMA world works. Really think about that for a second." Sean O'Malley breaks silence on retirement rumors. During a recent episode of the Timbo Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley caught the attention of fans when he made a cheeky comment about retirement while discussing his return to the octagon. At the time, the former champion said that he could fight again in November or December, but he may be out until 2026, or he may never fight again. While speaking with MMA Junkie this week, O'Malley clarified, "I mean, you just never know. Life comes at you fast. There's no plans as of now to stop fighting, but just putting life into perspective, you never know what's going to happen. Every time I get on the mats and I'm training, I'm grateful for that session. I'd like to fight again in November, December, get one more in by the end of the year. I'm going to go talk with the UFC in 2 weeks. I'm going to sit down with Hunter, chat with him, and see where their head's at, and go from there." So far, no word yet on who O'Malley may face when he returns. However, with bantamweight being one of the most exciting divisions in the promotion, there's certainly no shortage of potential fights for the former champ. Dana White releases fighter from the UFC. Following last week's weigh-in blunder, Brian Battle has been released from the UFC. Battle had previously missed weight at 170 and subsequently wound up moving up in weight. Despite that, he still wound up missing weight for last weekend's fight with Nursultan Ruziboev. While there'd been some talk of the UFC rescheduling the fight, according to both MMA Junkie and MMA Fighting, Battle has now been handed his walking papers. While Battle was released because of his inability to make weight, the UFC has come under fire recently for releasing fighters with winning records just like his, particularly in the heavyweight division, where fighters like Alexander Romanov, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and Martin Buday have been cut. During a media day appearance leading up to his PFL fight on Thursday, Romanov weighed in on his move to the PFL and the UFC's decision to release talented fighters. You know, from my perspective, there's more opportunities here in PFL, I feel. UFC never gave me enough fights. They don't keep us busy at heavyweight, and I don't understand why. Usually, when I just started fighting professional MMA, I was very active. I was fighting 4 or 5 times a year. As soon as I signed the contract with the UFC, I started just fighting twice a year. It's a little bit holding you back because for a professional athlete, it's the most important moment to be active. You have to know and see the goal in front of you, what you're training for. I didn't know what's going on now with these guys, what's in their heads. I think heavyweight is really what you can call a king division. If you cut guys who are on a winning streak, maybe something is wrong with them. I can't comment in this moment, but I think these guys who were cut after a win is a big mistake. I don't know if they respect the heavyweight or not. It's better to give this question to them personally. I think to cut the guys on a win streak, sorry, it's In the case of fighters like Buday, it seems like the UFC doesn't just care about wins, they want to see exciting wins. UFC updates. Ahead of this weekend's Shanghai card, let's take a look at today's UFC updates, starting with a new addition to the Noche UFC card. According to MMA Fighting, Raul Rosas Jr. is set to throw down with Rob Font on the September card, with Rosas looking to build on the 4-fight win streak that most recently saw him defeat Vince Morales, and Font looking to build on a 2-fight win streak that most recently saw him defeat Gene Matsumoto. Next up, we got a new addition to the UFC's featherweight division. According to Cage Warriors, undefeated English standout Luke Riley has signed with the UFC and will make his debut later this year. We also have an update on Carlos Prates following this weekend's UFC 319 card. After the fan favorite called for a fight in Rio, it sounds like he and the UFC have already made progress on things behind the scenes. In a post on Instagram on Wednesday, Prates wrote, "Great things are coming." As it turns out, Ian Gary, who beat Prates earlier this year, was a fan of Prates calling out Leon Edwards during his post-fight Octagon interview. In the video shared on Instagram, Gary weighed in.
There's no chance Leon Edwards is saying yes to fighting Carlos Prates in Rio. Let me tell you this. I told Carlos this when I seen him in Las Vegas. He will run from that fight. Leon, his entire career, has been saying how he's sick of fighting wrestlers and he's always fighting people who want to take him down. He wants to fight people on the feet. Carlos Prates will stay on the feet with you. And guess what? He's going to turn it down.
We also have an update on Dustin Poirier, who is auctioning off Max Holloway's gloves from their UFC 318 fight for his Good Fight Foundation.
What's up, guys? Just got a package delivered from Blessed Max Holloway, the man himself. And it's actually my retirement fight, the gloves he beat me up with. We're gonna be auctioning these off for the Good Fight Foundation. And with whatever we raise, we'd love to do something back in Hawaii. You guys have a great champion, a great person. Max, you're the man. Appreciate you.
And last but not least, we got an update on the Belal Muhammad Kamaru Usman beef. During a recent video for his YouTube channel, Bully B called out Usman for ducking him.
We saw Kamaru, the guy with the toughest stare down. When you tell him sign the contract, he's very quiet. Brother, we don't need a stare. If you want to go, all you got to do is sign the contract. You know the date. We don't need to talk. We can talk in the cage.
While Usman has not been interested in the fight, as the old saying goes, money talks. Aljamain Sterling not happy with the UFC's decision. While Aljamain Sterling and Brian Ortega are set to throw down in a co-main event of this weekend's UFC Fight Night Shanghai card, the pair are set to fight for 25 minutes as if they were fighting in the main event. As Sterling explained to MMA Fighting, he has no clue why the fight is 5 rounds, and he's, quote, kind of annoyed by the situation. Yeah, I don't know why it's 5 rounds. I don't know if Brian Ortega is the one who asked for 5 rounds, but like 5-round main events, if you're not the champion, you get an extra pay incentive. So I'm kind of annoyed because we're not getting extra pay for 5 rounds. I'm like, did he want to fight 5 rounds for no extra money? I think it's kind of stupid. Like, what are we getting out of this? We're not getting a trophy at the end of this, so why are we fighting 5 rounds? This is 10 extra minutes of training, 10 extra minutes of fighting. I don't know. I legitimately do not know. We've got the same manager, so I don't want 5 rounds. Like, who wants to do 5 rounds? Who wants to fight more for the same pay rate that they're going to get? It doesn't make any sense. While Sterling might not be happy about the fight being 5 rounds, fans likely will be come Saturday. DC says Conor McGregor is only trying to stay relevant with comeback talks. Conor McGregor recently re-entered the UFC's anti-doping pool after declaring his intentions to return on the UFC's 2026 card at the White House. Despite that, and the fact that the former champ has been dropping sparring footage, Daniel Cormier thinks that McGregor is just trying to stay relevant. During his recent appearance on Club Shay Shay, he weighed in.
Conor says he wants to fight all the time, and everybody they jump to it, but it's like, he wants to stay relevant.
Right.
He wants to stay in the news. He wants the notoriety of being Conor McGregor without having to be Conor McGregor.
Right.
And that kind of sucks because when he was the man, I bet you tapped in.
Oh,
I
yeah,
bet
for
you
sure.
tapped into the UFC more than ever.
Because he could sell a fight.
He could sell a fight.
Of course, given how close DC is to Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Eagles' rivalry with Conor McGregor also came up. As DC revealed, Khabib still refuses to say Conor McGregor's name, even to this day. Khabib still doesn't say Conor's name even today. He still doesn't mention his name. He hates him. They're in the octagon, and after the 3rd round, Conor whispers in Khabib's ear, "It's just business." Khabib says, "No, it's not." While Khabib was choking him, he said, "I kicked your." Although both fighters are now retired and Khabib rarely speaks about the beef, it sounds like there's still plenty of animosity on both sides. Dricus du Plessis urged to change weight class. During a recent episode of the Jackson podcast, Rampage Jackson urged DDP to change weight classes and not to mention the word rematch at all. According to Rampage, the fight was so one-sided that Dricus should switch weight classes so he's not stuck trying to avenge the loss to Khamzat. Here's what Rampage said.
Should he and his team try to seek an immediate rematch?
No.
You just got destroyed.
You just got destroyed.
Yeah,
like, no, DDP shouldn't even say the word re or match in the same sentence in an interview.
Yeah.
Hey, with all due respect, DDP need to probably go to a different weight class. He probably should go drop down a weight.
So he's too big to drop down.
He's stuck.
Do you agree with Rampage and think that DDP should switch weight classes to avoid another one-sided title fight against Khamzat? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day.